Okay, so I went to training. It was great. Sort of helped out setting up the space after John was doing some workshopping, and that was a good process in itself and a good training exercise itself. When I got there, Jackie gave some instructions about what needed to go where, and I asked a question and she said no questions. And that was it. Like, no questions. Just do what you're told. Do what you're instructed. That in itself is something just so beautiful in itself. So then we did training. We cleaned up. And, so we started training at the time that we would normally finish training. And then we trained, and Jackie pretty much took the training. John was there for the first 10-15 minutes, and then he got up and left the room. And Jackie took the training, and she's so strict, so perfect. Tiny movements. Everything's so tiny. And she says these things a few times, and then she yells the same things. And you realize, there's so much to take in. There's so much to take in as far as the body and the mind and the spirit and soul. Everything, And the explanation of it that she gives. And the fine instructions in between. Like, we do stuff, and then she gives this explanation and a bit of a talk afterwards. But then other times it's right in the middle of it, and the pause and freeze, and that's what I'm very used to. So that's really good. Like, you hold this position, and then it's like chin horizontal, head vertical, torso vertical, bend your knees. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Oh, bend your knees. Like that kind of stuff. And I used to doing that in Kung Fu. You'd be holding this stance sometimes for 15 minutes by the time, see if it would get to the back of the class to adjust you. But then you don't need adjusting, or you do need adjusting either way. But it's that perfection is in the slow and in the still, and having to hold that sustained. And don't swat mosquitoes while you're training as well. That's the other thing. There's so many mosquitoes here in Brisbane at the moment. Don't swat them while you're training. I did once, and I missed the bloody thing. So yeah, I feel really good. I feel really good for having gone to training, for having done the training. And I said to him, I'll do this 4 hours a day, every single day, if you guys are up for it. I trained with Jaden. Got to see Alicia. She was really bright, and that was really great, but she had to leave. So it was just Jaden and I training. And Jaden is such a phenomenal dancer. Like, he's got so much discipline and so much strength and so much control and so much resilience and so much knowledge and so much understanding. And he's a really, really great guy. He's a really nice guy, really great, beautiful guy. So it's an absolute privilege to be able to train with him and to follow his lead, because he's fucking good. There's no doubt about it. He's brilliant. Shane's brilliant. Alicia's brilliant. Yeah. So I've been taking on the training and applying it as Jackie and John have been instructing it. And Jackie just gave me some really good extra advice. You got to see it. It's like you got to dream it into existence. Dream yourself moving the way that you want to move, and moving the right way, like the correct biomechanics, the posture's right, and all that kind of stuff. And feeling the center. The center is what dictates everything, where you move from. And then everything comes from that. And you don't give anything away. So no one knows when the counting is going to stop. No one should know when the counting is going to stop, for instance. And then the other thing is like, so we have this thing with our face. And so it's a very social thing, but then we're looking at the audience. Now feel the skin on your face. Feel the audience looking at the skin on your face. And I don't know if there was a change then or not, but she said there was some kind of change. She said there was a change. And I said, was there much of a change? She goes, I'm not telling you. And you don't ask questions. Don't ask questions like that. But I'm not telling you. I'll tell you when you get it correct one day. I might. Don't trust me. I'm not trustworthy like that. I might not tell you that you got it correct. And she got this real mystical look in her eye. Like she's a mystic. She's an absolute mystic. But genius. They're both geniuses. They're both masters. So I'm out now exercising dogs. Don't know if you can see that. The light's not so great. So I had the dogs with me, but I took them home. There you can see the dogs. There's Handsome. He's handsome, isn't he? The handsome boy. So they got to see John and Jackie. They really love him. And then I went and took them home so that there was no chance disrupting the training. And so we were going to go have a McFlurry at McDonald's, but I couldn't find him. It was McDonald's just down the road, but I couldn't find him. So I don't know what the story was there. So I just came back and got my dogs and then brought them out. The dogs have been really having to be put aside a lot lately. Even when they go to do engagements with humans as therapy dogs that they are, kind of being put aside, put in the other room while the humans deal with their human stuff. So it's really important to bring them out here and let them know. Can you see that? That they're loved and they are valued and cherished and honoured, and they're the most important thing. To let them come and hunt. And you're basically hunting rats here. The subsidence of the cemetery. You know, I haven't really been feeling very good about this year, or about life at all, really, in general. And this training is so important. It's so good to train, like Jackie said tonight. It's so good to train. And it really is. It's just so good to train. So I'm really clear. Wasn't training Kung Fu, so whatever excuses there were as far as money was concerned, I don't give a fuck. I'll go without food. Again, I go without food for things. That's what I do. Because I haven't had money for such a long time, I've become very accustomed to going without food for days. I mean, I like to fast for like 4 days in a row, quite regularly and quite frequently. So it's not really that hard to go without food, especially when you want something. I have been noticing I require quite a bit more food lately in the last month or so, or 2 months. It seems over summertime I require more food than I do in winter. Interestingly. Also, it seems that my dogs need more food in summertime than they do in wintertime. Not really sure how that works out. But Kung Fu, and I'm doing this Nobbs Suzuki Praxis. The only stone that's left unturned as far as why I could be in this financial situation and in this doldrums in life is I'm not training Kung Fu a minimum 2.5 hours every day to start the day like I normally always would do. And when I sort of had to let the training slip because of work, then I was training 4 hours every day. And when you train 4 hours every morning to start your day, every single day for a month, then after a month, you wake up one day and you feel really good about yourself. You feel really good. Well, I do anyway. But that's been a good few years now. I mean, there have been plenty of days that I've trained 4 hours, but not enough. Like, it's not consistent. 4 hours every day. I mean, some days I just don't train very much at all, if anything. I don't really know why. Some days I don't feel very energetic. I feel heavy or stiff or sore, or I've got quite sick a few times. But it doesn't matter. See, none of this stuff matters. Nothing else matters, because I found this practice now that really does work for me. Big time. And I could go on for 6 hours explaining what it is, and you still wouldn't understand what it is. You got to see it and you got to do it. You got to see it, that's one thing. You still wouldn't get it, but you got to do it. And it's hard work. So not many people do it. In a city of 2 million people, then there's like 3 other people. And there's probably about 30 people all up with these guys all around the world that are keeping alive what they've been taught by John and Jackie. I mean, I intend to make that a lot more people. Like, I'll teach this once I get to a point. I'm a good teacher. And once I get to a point of knowing this and having the blessing to teach it, then I'll teach it every day, because this is incredibly valuable, priceless, absolutely priceless. Cultural art or artistic culture. And for me, interacting with people, having all kinds of different relationships with people, I have one at the moment with my dearest friend and my lover that's really affected me. It's really affected me quite significantly. Her being upset for something I was never able to be for her. It really does affect me. So I'm really glad that I went to training, that the training was on tonight, because it's Tuesday, not Sunday. I'm really glad that I was able to break myself against the mountain of Jackie. Probably about a dozen times at least in the training. She's so good at all that specific, really fine detail stuff. She wants you to go inward and get it right inward, and John wants you to go outward and be expansive and break free from that form. So the two of them together, it's just such fantastic training. I mean, I just could not have imagined really that you'd find such good training from what I've seen in the world and what I knew of training and discipline and impeccable form and all of that kind of stuff, and martial arts and performance. I mean, there's just nothing else like this, and this is absolutely profound and transformative stuff. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. So the real point is getting this across, like, it's a different thing to go and train in Kung Fu, or go and train yoga, or go and train Buto, or go and training any other acting or any other performance art or fire twirling, or doing anything that's performance art, or doing anything that's martial arts, or doing anything that's professional. This is a completely different thing. It's so much more of a paradoxical spirit kind of thing, and I'm totally up for it. It might just be that thing that really turns me around. So I'll wrap it up there. Much love. Uru.